Let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten a full 8 hours of sleep but you still wake up feeling totally exhausted? Or maybe you're frustrated because that stubborn weight just won't budge, no matter how clean you eat or how much you work out. Well, today we're going to dig into the surprising, science-backed reason for all of it, and it's all based on the amazing work of Dr. Sachin Panda. Okay, let's get into it.
So just for a second, think about this. Do any of these things sound a little too familiar in your own life? You know, waking up and already feeling tired, battling to lose weight even though you're doing all the right things, hitting that brutal afternoon energy crash, or that horrible feeling of being exhausted at bedtime but your brain just won't shut off. Maybe you're even getting sick all the time. If you're sitting there nodding your head, trust me, you are not alone. And here's the thing, these aren't a bunch of separate problems. They're usually symptoms of one single hidden cause.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with your body's master clock. Then we'll look at a pretty shocking mouse experiment. After that, we'll walk through 3 simple keys to fix this: controlling your eating, mastering light, and timing your exercise. And then we'll wrap it all up.
All right, first up, let's talk about this hidden switch that's running the show inside your body. It's your master clock.
This is what scientists call your circadian clock. The easiest way to think about it is like a super strict 24-hour schedule for your entire body. I mean, every single organ you have, your brain, your stomach, your liver, it has its own work hours and, more importantly, its own off hours. Your stomach isn't supposed to be digesting a midnight snack, and your brain isn't built to be buzzing at 2 a.m. This timing, it's absolutely everything.
Now, I get it. You might be a little skeptical about how big of a deal this timing thing really is. Well, get ready for this, because we're about to look at an experiment that gives us undeniable proof that when you eat might be even more important than what you eat.
Okay, so the setup was really simple. Researchers took 2 groups of mice. Both groups were fed the exact same unhealthy high-fat diet for 18 weeks. The only, and I mean the only difference, was the schedule. Mouse A could eat that junk food whenever it wanted, 24/7. But Mouse B, it had to eat all the same food, but only within an 8-hour window each day.
And the results? I mean, they were just jaw-dropping. The mouse that ate whenever it wanted gained 28% more weight. It developed diabetes, obesity, and even fatty liver disease. But the mouse that was on the 8-hour schedule, it stayed lean, healthy, and athletic. Its blood sugar and cholesterol were totally normal. And remember, this was on the exact same junk food diet. It's incredible.
But here's the part that really blows my mind. The researchers then took the sick, overweight mouse and just switched it to the 8-hour eating schedule. And guess what? It started to heal itself. It lost fat, and its diseases started to reverse, all without any medicine or changing the food. The only thing that changed was the clock.
And this all leads to a really powerful quote from Dr. Panda himself. He says that eating over a 15-hour window, from your first coffee with cream to that last late-night bite, is actually worse for you than eating a junk food diet in a shorter window. That just goes to show we have got to fix our timing.
So that brings us right to our first key: learning how to control your eating and sync your meals up with what your body actually wants to be doing.
So here's how it's supposed to work. During your eating window, let's say from 8 in the morning to 6 at night, your body is busy using food for energy and storing a little bit of fat. That's its job. But the moment you stop eating, it shifts gears. It stops storing fat. And then, a few hours later, it goes into this deep fasting mode, where it starts to burn fat for fuel and, this is the magic part, it turns on this massive cellular repair and cleanup process.
But what happens when you have that late-night snack? Well, you basically yank your body right out of that crucial repair mode. You're forcing your stomach and liver to clock back in for an overnight shift they never asked for. Dr. Panda calls this jet lag for your organs, and it's the perfect way to describe it. It just creates total chaos and confusion for your health.
So we've covered food timing. Key number 2 is just as important, and it's all about mastering light, using it to set your energy levels for the day. So inside your eyes, you have these special sensors called melanopsin. You can think of them as your brain's daytime detectors. Their whole job is to look for bright blue light, like the kind we get from the sun. And when they see it, they send a massive signal straight to your master clock that screams, "It's daytime, wake up, it's time to be alert." And here is our big modern problem. During the day, most of us are stuck inside under pretty dim light, so our brain gets this weak, kind of fuzzy daytime signal. But then at night, what do? We stare at bright screens on our phones and TVs, which blast our eyes with that same blue light, sending a really confusing, "Hey, it's still daytime" signal. right when our brain should be winding down for sleep. We're basically living in a state of permanent light jet lag.
So how do we fix this? It's actually a really simple 3-step reset. 1. In the morning, get outside for at least 5 minutes of direct sunlight as soon as you can. 2. During the day, try to get at least 2 hours of bright daylight. Sitting by a window at work is perfect for this. And 3. In the evening, dim your lights and get off all screens, especially after 6 p.m. Let your brain know that nighttime is actually coming.
Okay, on to our third and final key, timing your exercise, because it turns out that when you move your body matters just as much as how you move it. See, your body has these peak performance windows. The research shows that mornings are fantastic for things like a brisk walk, a run, or some good stretching. It's a great way to wake everything up. But for heavy lifting and strength training, your body is literally at its strongest and least likely to get injured in the late afternoon, usually between 3 and 7 p.m.
And you know what the best news is? You don't have to live in the gym to get these benefits. The science is clear that just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, is enough to make a massive difference in syncing up your body's clock. It's so achievable.
So let's bring all of this together now. Let's boil it down to your final takeaway. 3 simple rules for a total circadian reset.
It really comes down to just this. First, eat. Squeeze all your meals into an 8 to 12-hour window. Give your body a nice long break every single night to repair itself. Second, light. Get that bright, natural light in your eyes in the morning and embrace darkness at night. And third, exercise. Match your workouts to when your body is primed to perform at its best.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The science is so clear. Your body is hardwired to run on a very specific 24-hour schedule. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Are you living by your body's schedule, or are you constantly fighting against it?